So, did you ever wonder about Abraham and Sarah in the Bible? The book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 17, the Bible tells us that Abraham is 10 years older than Sarah. Then they were right old when they had their first child. But when you back up a few chapters, you find out a little bit more about them that's interesting. God had told Abraham to pack up everything he owns and move to this land that I'm going to show you. And that was Canaan. So he gets over to Canaan, and there's a drought happening. So he continues going on down into Egypt. Now, he had started his journey from Ur of the Chaldees, which is basically southeastern Iraq. And it's quite a journey, and he's doing this on foot. So he was 75 years old when he left. I don't know how old he was when he got to Egypt, but that's a journey that probably took him a while. And I don't know how long he was in Canaan before he went to Egypt, but he was at least 75 years old, which means Sarah was 65 years old because she's 10 years younger than him. Now he gets down to Egypt, and before he goes in, he stops and talks to Sarah, and he said, "Look, you're really beautiful, and Pharaoh's going to want you for himself." Well, she must have been extremely beautiful because there's a whole nation of Egyptians down there, and she's going to stroll in, and Pharaoh's going to say, "Wow, I want this one." Well, it turns out he was right. He did. So there's a story about all of that, which is a little bit odd because Abraham told Sarah, tell him that you're my sister. And I don't want to get into that. I just want to point out the fact that Sarah was 65 years old at this point and so beautiful that Pharaoh wanted her over all of the women in Egypt. How beautiful was Sarah? Wow. The things you find when you dig into the Bible and you realize Sarah must have been quite the knockout at 65 years old to show up all of the Egyptian women. Pretty impressive.